recovery plan on this day.
Mr. Clinton today heading to America's heartland to sell the financial cure he outlined in his State of the Union address. News 12's Colleen McVeigh reports last night's call for higher taxes and spending cuts came as no surprise to most Americans.
Mr. Clinton's blueprint for the economy, a package that includes a stimulus plan to boost the economy, a package of tax increases and spending cuts.
And finally, it seeks to earn the trust of the American people by paying for these plans first with cuts in government waste and efficiency, second with cuts, not gimmicks, in government spending, and by fairness for a change in the way additional burdens are borne. Spending must be cut and taxes must be raised. The spending cuts I recommend were carefully thought through in a way to minimize any adverse economic impact, to capture the peace dividend for investment purposes, and to switch the balance in the budget from consumption to more investment.
And one of the president's top priorities for getting the economy going again is national health care reform.
All of our efforts to strengthen the economy will fail. Let me say this again. I feel so strongly about this. All of our efforts to strengthen the economy will fail unless we also take this year, not next year, not 5 years from now, but this year, bold steps to reform our health care system.
The president also proposing a wide range of cuts in spending.
We have to ensure that we live within our means, and that should start at the top and with the White House. In the last few days, I have announced a cut in the White House staff of 25%, saving approximately $10 million. I have ordered administrative cuts in budgets of agencies and departments. I have cut the federal bureaucracy, or will over the next 4 years, by approximately 100,000 positions for combined savings of $9 billion.
Colleen McVeigh, News 12, Long Island.
Now, quoting the Republicans' response to the president's plan, it's spending stupid. They say it's the same old tax and spend Democrats, but with a new twist.
The Clinton spin doctors have even given us a new political vocabulary, if you will. Investment now means big government spending your tax dollars. Change now means reviving old discredited big government tax and spend schemes. Patriotism now means agreeing with the Clinton program. The powerful evocative word sacrifice has been reduced to the level of a bumper sticker slogan. And my favorite, contribution, is now the new word for taxes.
Senator Michael also said the Republicans will have to keep the Democrats on the straight and narrow.
The reviews for President Clinton's address are coming in on the island today. News 12's Hillary Strauss sat down for last night's speech with students at Hofstra University.
Because they're in school full-time and don't earn much money, most of these Hofstra students pay minimal taxes. But because they'll be graduating soon and working full-time soon and paying more taxes soon, they listened attentively as President Clinton told of the need for higher taxes to cut the deficit.
I still don't think that they should raise taxes, especially on the people making over $100,000, because that's where he's basically putting most of the taxes on. And those people, a lot of them, you think $100,000 is a lot of money a year to make, but for a family who's putting kids through college and who's, you know, it's really a hard struggle.
However, along with the bad news of digging deeper into their pockets, comes the potential good news of inheriting a lower deficit. So for some of these students, the trade-off might be well worth it.
I think, for one thing, we'll reestablish our credit. I mean, people will be more willing to lend us money. But also, I think it might have an effect on the psyche. You know, it's very, I think it's debilitating to the psyche of the American people if we know that we're a debtor nation.
They have to be higher. I think I hope he'll keep it at what he said, 100,000 and over. He shouldn't go down any further than that, but it's needed.
Hillary Strauss, News 12, Long Island.
Now, most Americans today seem to be backing the president's economic plan initially. An instant CNN USA Today Gallup poll shows 79% favor Mr. Clinton's proposed blend of tax increases and budget cuts. And when asked if they really think the president could achieve the same goal without raising taxes, 72% said no way.
In other news today, Saul Wackler says he is not guilty by reason of insanity. New York's former chief judge entered that plea in a federal courtroom yesterday in New Jersey. Wackler is accused of trying to extort money from his former lover, socialite Joy Silverman, and threatening to kidnap her daughter. Shortly after his arrest in November, Wackler stepped down from the bench. He will remain under arrest in his Manhasset home. Wackler's trial is set to begin June 1st. And Governor Cuomo is expected to name Wackler's replacement for the top judge spot soon, maybe as soon as today. Cuomo has hinted it would be nice to have the first female chief judge in the state's history. That woman would reportedly be Court of Appeals Judge Judith Kaye. 6 other male candidates are also being considered. The governor's spokesman says there is a chance, though, the decision will not be made until next week.
The folks who went to the Revere Armored Car Company for protection are now desperate to get their money back. Patty Ann Brown joined them in federal court in Uniondale yesterday.
This is what FBI investigators found when they entered the Revere Armored Car Company in Bohemia, the day after the company abruptly shut its doors last week.
When you walked in the vaults, you found $46 or $7 million approximately in hampers, on shelves, on the floor.
When it was all counted up, investigators found about $47 million in the building, money that apparently was supposed to be delivered to banks and individual companies Revere did business with. So far, Revere clients have reported a total of $86 million missing from their accounts. The FBI seized the company's assets last Wednesday and charged its owners, Robert and Susan Scoretta, with federal bank fraud and theft. Their lawyer insists they've done nothing wrong.
My clients have lost a business that they built up through hard work, through sweat equity for 10 years. That business does not exist right now.
But Revere customers say they're the victims. At a hearing in U.S. District Court, small business owners told Judge Arthur Spat they're not sure they can survive without the seized money.
It's a tremendous burden that we have to suffer, and I would hope that the judge would be kind enough to the small business owners to release the funds as quickly as possible so we can get on our feet and continue to do business.
Major banks also urged the judge to move quickly to free up the seized funds. 7 banks have reported losses in the fraud, the largest being to Marine Midland, which says it's out $35 million. But the government isn't ready to give the seized money back, even if it's in clearly labeled sealed bags. The U.S. Attorney's Office says the bags are evidence, since the FBI is considering the possibility the scandal was a partnership between Revere and an outside party.
It's being suggested that there was a conspiracy with some of the businesses, that the less money was put in pouches and actually was denominated as being put in pouches, and that this was used to defraud banks.
Meanwhile, former Revere employees have not been paid for their last few weeks of work. They've been told to get a lawyer. They say they can't afford one.
They have no idea what kind of effect and damage they have done to all our families. 721 employees.
So will all of Revere's clients get their money back in full? According to Judge Stark, that depends a lot on Revere's insurance company, Lloyd's of London.
There's $100 million worth of insurance, which should be more than enough to pay any claims here if the carriers accept liability.
In Uniondale, Patty Ann Brown, News 12, Long Island.
The Scorettas posted $500,000 bond each. A stolen car carrying 2 North Patchogue teenagers to their death, police say, was the car that had been stolen in Patchogue. Christopher Stater lost control of that car and hit a tree in a parked car Monday while speeding down Buffalo Avenue in Medford. The car had been stolen earlier in the day from Patchogue Ford. Stater and a passenger, Brian Everett, were killed. The other passenger, Brian T. Pally, remains at University Hospital at Stony Brook with trauma injuries.
Manslaughter is how police describe it, but a Deer Park man says his infant son died in a tragic accident. 26-year-old Ronald Morton was arraigned yesterday, accused of violently shaking his 7-month-old son to death. The baby's mother showed up in court to support Morton. His attorney says his client never meant to harm the infant.
It was never his intention to cause any physical harm to a child. He loved this child. In fact, he told me now he started to cry. He started to cry when he said to me, "I really love this child. I never wanted to hurt this child in any way."
Bail was set at $5,000. 7 children who were left home alone are dead after they were trapped in their Detroit home during a fire. Parents of the children, ranging from 7 months to 9 years old, are being questioned by police in connection with the deaths. Police say the children were left unattended for about 45 minutes while their mother went grocery shopping. Fire inspectors say the children could not escape from the 2-story house because of bars on the windows, and there were no smoke detectors. The fire's cause is still under investigation.
On Long Island, a Bayshore building fire is labeled suspicious today. About 3 this morning, the fire sparked at the vacant building on the corner of Main Street and Bayshore Avenue. It took firefighters 2 hours to get that blaze under control.
We had 1 or 2 minor injuries, but fortunately nobody was seriously hurt. And it was quite a job with that floor collapsing, trying to get inside to put the fire out. Arson squad does have some suspects, but I've not been informed as to exactly what they found.
A couple of months ago, the town of Islip evicted all tenants from that building.
Still to come, the county's sludge problem is in the hands of the Nassau Board of Supervisors today.
And the results of an 11-month probe into the crash of U.S. Air Flight 405 at LaGuardia Airport are made public.
Take a tour through any one of Long Island's 6 great Ethan Allen showrooms. You'll be surprised at every turn. Surprised that furniture so breathtaking can be so affordable, and that furniture so affordable is crafted of only the finest woods and luxurious fabrics to last for years. Surprised that prices so affordable are lower now during our spectacular fall sale. So come to Ethan Allen today and discover why it's really no surprise at all that we're America's best home furnishings value.
A Champion, we have the best trained employees and loan officers in the business. They'll put you at ease and take the time to walk you through the second mortgage process step by step. And they'll show you how to replace those high-interest credit card debts and other bills with one low monthly payment. And they'll show you how a home equity loan from Champion can save you hundreds of dollars a month. And most importantly, our employees will show you the kind of respect and concern you deserve. When your bank says no, Champion says yes.
It's about riding an edge, whether it's your ski edge or the edge of the atmosphere.
It's extreme.
We ski these, and hopefully we won't need that. The bumps are sweet. Pounds of pressure going through your body.
Don't try this at home. We're trained professionals.
When you see the tops of people's heads, your safety point, don't. 5 words or less, why you ski Sugarbush. Snow, 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 snow. Call 1-800-53-SUGAR.
Epic snow, eh?
Long Island University, education that works. 6 campuses, 1 great university. At CW Post, take advantage of cooperative education to gain professional experience and earn your degree. Today's competitive marketplace demands it. 157 academic areas of study. Our award-winning honors program and academic advising help realize your potential. We have all the resources of a major university with the personal attention you deserve. Call 1-800-LIU-PLAN. Choose CW Post. Quality, affordable education, 1 student at a time.
Crime, education, the environment, taxes.
Long Island is in a crisis. We're the highest taxed area.
If it's an issue on Long Island, it's on At Issue. Each week, award-winning anchorman Bill Zimmerman takes a closer look at the stories that affect Long Island. Watch At Issue, Saturday and Sunday afternoons at 4:30 and Sunday evenings after the news beginning at 10:30. At Issue, only on Long Island's news channel, News 12, Long Island.
Who will get rid of Nassau's sludge? Well, today's emergency meeting of Nassau's Board of Supervisors may decide that. Hauling the sludge off the island is one proposed alternative to building highly controversial pelletization plants in Cedar Creek and Bay Park. A federal judge set a March 1st deadline for the county to come up with a viable sludge removal plan. Although no hauling company has been awarded a contract yet, one Manhasset firm is seeking a temporary injunction challenging the qualifications of its 2 competitors.
The mortgage company, which owns a Great Neck house with radioactive waste, now says it will pay to dispose of it. Nassau's health department says the small amount of radium currently stored at the Nassau Medical Center will eventually be shipped to a dump, but no word yet on which of the few landfills that accepts radium will get the waste. The Favita family found the radium in their home last month as they were preparing to sell the house.
Ice and snow on the plane's wings are now the official reason why U.S. Air Flight 405 crashed at LaGuardia Airport last March. News 12's Scott Feldman has more on the hearings yesterday.
U.S. Air Flight 405 in snow and ice at LaGuardia attempted to take off for Cleveland. Witnesses said the jetliner veered sharply and then bounced across the ground before it flipped over, broke apart, and plunged into Flushing Bay. Flight 405 had been de-iced twice at the gate, but then waited on the runway for a half hour for permission to take off. The NTSB was divided on whether pilot error or poor FAA bad weather guidelines contributed to the crash.
He's headed toward the runway. 20 minutes expires. He pulls over to the side of the road and checks the wind.
Most crews, with the information available to that crew, would know that in those conditions, 35 minutes, they would anticipate wing contamination and take an appropriate course of action.
Investigators say the pilot apparently was unaware of the ice on the wings and believed his plane was traveling about 10 knots faster than it actually was when he tried to rotate or lift its nose. NTSB Chairman Carl Voigt says if the pilot had taken off at 129 knots, he probably would have flown it out of there. Since the crash, the FAA has ordered airlines to train crews to detect and remove ice and snow to improve the safety of winter flights. The NTSB says conditions at LaGuardia have improved.
The tower management coordinator determines what the arrival and departure rates are that are going to be utilized. Then he calls that information to the snow desk, and the snow desk then allocates departure slots to each company based on predetermined percentages.
And another safety board staffer says airlines now aren't being held hostage to a strict time schedule when the weather's bad.
Companies are not pressuring the crew so much for on-time takeoffs in these conditions that we're talking about. And according to our FAA sources, the new methodology is working.
But a U.S. air pilot contends new FAA de-icing procedures still don't go far enough.
The most desirable way would have the airplane de-ice just before it took off, or be done out at the end of the runway.
Scott Feldman, News 12, Long Island.
And 27 people died in that crash last year. Straight ahead, Joe will have the word on the weather, and that word apparently is cold.
Looks like we're in the icebox for the next couple of days, and an upper air disturbance producing some clouds, maybe even a few flurries today. And then it's cold and dry tomorrow, and it looks like another round of precipitation for the weekend. I'll have the complete forecast after this.
And a stranded seal makes it back to sea with a little help from his friend.
Hi, I'm Rick Mango. Some people think that music is my whole life. The most important thing in my life is having been blessed with 2 healthy children. But for thousands of American children, every day is a struggle just to reach their next birthday. Cooley's anemia is a cruel and fatal blood disorder. There is no cure. Afflicted children must receive blood transfusions every 2 weeks and also endure painful 10 to 12-hour continuous injections every day of their lives. Children with Cooley's anemia have plans and hopes and dreams, just like kids everywhere. And with your help, we have a fighting chance to knock out this killer for good. Right, Nikki?
Go for it. Hey, for the sake of our kids, we need your money.
Help us kiss our children goodnight, not goodbye.
To win the New York Lottery Jackpot Explosion Sweepstakes, you have to be a loser. Just send any non-winning New York Lottery instant cash ticket with your name, address, and phone number to Jackpot Explosion Sweepstakes at this address. 40 winners will receive 100 instant cash lottery tickets, and 1 will win the grand prize, a 6-day, 5-night vacation for 2 at Sandals Resort St. Lucia. Air transportation supplied by American Airlines, serving 34 Caribbean destinations. So send your non-winning tickets to the Jackpot Explosion Sweepstakes from the New York State Lottery. Money when you least expect it.
Nowadays, a lot of homes are being broken into and robbed. This is a horrible experience no one should have to face. Believe me, I know. So I've arranged to supply, absolutely free, and through the courtesy of Pony Express, a home security system with the purchase of any new or used Paul Conte Cadillac, Chevrolet, or Geo. Now you can enjoy safety and security on the road and the comfort of peace of mind at home. Only at Paul Conte Cadillac, Chevrolet, or Geo.
Here's what's happening across Long Island today. The South Hole Town Board meets to discuss its coastal erosion problem due to the December nor'easter. And if you're traveling around the town of Brookhaven today, expect traffic delays because of heavy equipment being transported from Shoreham to the Holtsville generating plant. Also, the Long Island Names AIDS quilt will be on display at C.W. Post College in Brookville. And in Greenlawn, the Pominock Village 3 Senior Housing Complex opens today.
This is the last day for storm victims to ask FEMA for help. The Federal Emergency Management Agency has been offering aid to folks hit hardest by December's nor'easter. But if you don't submit an application by 5 p.m. today, FEMA says you may be out of luck.
Well, the young seal is now free and healthy thanks to the Okinos Foundation. The Marine Life Research and Rescue Organization released the harp seal back into the sea yesterday. The foundation had been nursing the seal back to health since it was found sick and stranded on a beach in Southampton last month.
It's so pretty.
They do
Yes, very
great
nice.
work with the animals.
Yeah, they really
They
do.
do.
Sam Say Dove and Company at
It's a happy
Aquino.
thing. So,
Another weekend coming up. Carol has plans. She's been bugging me all day.
I always have plans, Joe.
I was going to say you always
my
bug me
life.
every day. but
Well, that's true.
But we have a complicated weekend forecast because it involves whether one storm comes out or two storms come out. If one is stronger than the other, how much cold air will be around, how much won't be around. Those and other pointed questions will be answered here sometime tomorrow, probably. But we have this morning a little bit of an upper air disturbance to our south, producing a few snow flurries over the island in some spots. The old enhancement going out and gone, and to check out on the radar from earlier, there were some echoes off the New Jersey coast. So every once in a while today, you may see a few flurries fly by. Other than that, I really wouldn't worry about it too much. And let's check out our forecast in terms of temperatures. Going nowhere today. Temperatures will be holding in the upper 20s to low 30s with winds coming down from the north, pulling in cold air. On top of that, we will have cloud cover mixed with some sunshine and those snowflakes flying by, particularly vulnerable, if you want to call that the word, to some snow flurry activity. Might be the North Shore area, the eastern part of the island over the Twin Forks, where the wind coming in over the open water will tend to generate some local lake effect-like snows, and also some of the inland spots in toward Nassau County. Improving boating conditions from yesterday as winds continue to die off to about 12 to 22, 3 to 5 foot seas, 2 to 3 on the sound. Visibility generally 5 miles, but lower in any snow flurries or snow showers, water near 40, and tides running near normal. 6:43 and 5:30, your sunrise and sunset. 39:24 the normals. 64 the record high in 1981. 4 below zero the record low in 1979. We've got the jet stream, very strong split flow here with the northern jet pulling down the cold air and holding in place at least for a while the southern jet shoots along the moisture. Some of that moisture over us this morning, and earlier this morning and this afternoon with the clouds. And off the west coast, we have a major storm coming inland. It is this storm that we'll be watching to see if it does anything to us. Part of it's going to come out and get here on Saturday while that northern jet still holds the cold air in, and then the second stronger half will come on Sunday into Monday, and that's the one we have the big question for. But meantime, you can see on the edge of the clouds and the sun mixture with the clearer skies up to the north. Let's quickly show you the loop in motion. There's the first area of moisture that comes out of the southwest and heads towards the east coast. There it goes. There you see it. Not really all that well organized. And a little bit of a storm is starting to form off the east coast, well out in the ocean. And now the second storm coming in. We think this second area of moisture will have more punch to it when it gets here on Saturday to give us a period of snow or perhaps just some light snow or flurries, and then we'll wait for the second system to come for Sunday. And we'll try and zero in on details in the forecast and extended later on for you ladies.
All right, we look forward to it. Thanks, Joe. Well, still ahead, researchers announce a breakthrough in the fight against AIDS. And should Nassau women have been told they might have gotten dangerous mammographies?
And the Yankee farm team owners say they're not quite ready to hit the showers over a plan to bring a pro stadium to Suffolk.
Speed, air, and height. Good for controlled free fall. Or if you're riding the edge at 90 miles an hour. If you're at the edge of a cliff, which is extreme, there's nothing better. It's extreme. Steeps, vertical, bumps. Great bumps, great runs, great skiers ski here. And you are about to... Time's up. 5 words or less, why you ski through the woods. Snow, 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 snow. Call 1-800-53-SUGAR.
Epic snow, eh?
The Milleridge Inn, conveniently located on Long Island's North Shore. A sprawling mansion serving lunch and dinner 7 days a week. Through the years, Milleridge has been a popular and lively meeting place for weddings and private parties. Come bring your family for a stroll through Milleridge Village, authentic colonial shops and surroundings that recreate the feeling of old Williamsburg. The Milleridge Inn, Village, Cottage and Carriage House, America's first choice for dining out pleasure and entertainment.
At Hassett and Wantagh, we're so sure our prices are the lowest, we put this tag on every brand we display, because Hassett and Wantagh is Long Island's low-price giant. But just because you get the lowest price doesn't mean you sacrifice service. Hassett and Wantagh is New York's #1 Lincoln, Mercury, Isuzu leasing dealer and always a leader in sales and service. And we did it all by pleasing people just like you. Hassett and Wantagh. We won't let anyone beat the Hassett price.
Wouldn't it be great to have comfortable new furniture you could really relax in? Or a beautiful entertainment unit that has room for everything? A dining room set that will last for decades. And a bedroom set even the kids will love. Then you'll want to shop the President's Sale at Thomasville Gallery in Farmingdale. No payments, no interest, no finance charges until next year. Thomasville Gallery of Farmingdale.
Suffolk police believe they solved a 5-year-old murder.
Real time, 1 minute. 10, 9, 8, and 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Rolling.
Good evening. I'm Scott Felton.
A Woodbury jeweler is being accused of replacing diamonds with phony stones. Police say they got some complaints from customers of Crown Jewelers on Jericho Turnpike. Undercover investigators reportedly brought in a $3,000 diamond for appraisal, and they say they got back a worthless stone. Crown Jewelers owner Robert Wagner of Woodbury faces grand larceny charges.
The owners of the Yankees farm team are planning another trip to the batter's box. News 12's Connie Conway says they're not yet willing to accept Suffolk's Major League Baseball disappointment.
Pitch. He gets jammed. How about this?
Cracking bats won't be heard here anytime soon. The owners of the Albany Colony Yankees struck out with a special council of baseball owners. They were rejected in their bid to move the AA team to Suffolk.
What went wrong?
I think one of the major problems was that we don't have a commissioner of baseball to make a ruling. We seem to have been within the guidelines of moving a minor league team to an area. We were outside the territorial limits of the New York Mets.
Under baseball regulations, a AA team cannot be located within 5 miles of a major league ballpark. Suffolk had planned to build a stadium for the minor league team at the Brentwood campus of Suffolk Community College, 35 miles away from Shea.
For whatever reason, the New York Mets decided to be baseball bullies in our area and to prevent the Albany Colony Yankees from moving to Suffolk County.
The official rejection by baseball owners is that it's not in the best interest of baseball to relocate the Albany team. The Mets' official reaction comes from General Manager Al Harrison, who released this short statement. "We are pleased that our position was upheld." But baseball fans are crying foul.
I'm pretty bummed.
Would you have gone to it?
Oh, definitely. A couple of games would be good. It's close.
Others think the county should spend its money more wisely.
I think the campus should be used for something more in the line of scholarship or expansion of the college itself rather than used for the baseball team.
Hollywood's version of Field of Dreams, where if you build it, they will come, doesn't work for the county. The county won't build the $7.5 million stadium unless it knows that a minor league team is coming. In the immortal words of Yogi Berra, it ain't over till it's over. The Yankee farm team owners plan to try another time at bat when a new commissioner is named. But the earliest you could hear the words play ball here is 1995. So for now, minor league baseball in Suffolk remains just a field of dreams. In Brentwood, Connie Conway, News 12, Long Island.
Why not notify nearly 200 women who may have had a bad mammogram? News 12's Matt Jablow tells us the Nassau Health Department is being criticized for failing to protect the patients of a Floral Park doctor.
The charges against Dr. Padma Ram have serious implications both for her and some of her patients. The Nassau County Department of Health has charged that until September 1991, Dr. Ram, a Floral Park internist, used a mammogram machine that emitted high levels of radiation and produced images of unacceptable quality. And there are other charges.
When we went down the second time, we were able to prove, through testimony at the hearing at Well from one of her technicians, that she was using unlicensed technicians. And we were able
At a hearing last month, Dr. Ram, who has not spoken to the media, denied all the charges. A decision is expected next month. In the meantime, however, none of the women who had the mammograms have been notified of the allegations against the doctor and warned of the possible risk to their health. The county, citing doctor-patient confidentiality, says it legally cannot contact the doctor's patients until improprieties are proven. Some say that law is outrageous and dangerous.
I think that's horrendous.
I would hope that they would have been notified immediately when there was even the possibility of a problem, and certainly 17 months later, it's unconscionable that they haven't been notified.
But Dr. Ram's attorney says the county health department has never asked Dr. Ram to notify her patients. And since she believes she did nothing wrong, she's not going to notify them unless she's forced to.
We had a 2-day hearing. There wasn't one physician who testified that, or anyone else, that there was anything wrong with any of the mammograms taken.
But the health department claims it in fact asked Dr. Ram to contact her patients, but she refused. Domash added that Dr. Ram has been generally uncooperative throughout the entire investigation, a charge that once again Ram's lawyer vehemently denies. The health department says it hopes all the publicity the story has generated will do what the doctor refuses to do, warn her patients that their health could be in jeopardy. Matt Jablow, News 12, Long Island.
A Manhattan physician waits for a jury to decide his fate. Dr. Abu Hayat is charged with performing illegal abortions and refusing to finish a legal one. In one case, the doctor allegedly tried to perform an abortion on a woman who was 8 months pregnant. Prosecutors contend Dr. Hayat ripped the arm off the baby before birth.
A combination of 3 drugs has been found to stop the AIDS virus from reproducing in test tubes. But will it do the same in the human body? Well, testing to try to answer that question will start in the spring. That's when Dr. Martin Hirsch from Harvard Medical School says the 3-drug combination will be tested in a study with people with advanced HIV infections. A Chinese abortion pill is being tested by abortion rights activists here in the United States. It appears to work the same as the French-made abortion pill, RU-486, which is banned from the United States for personal use. But if the Chinese pill continues to test safe, the group says it will ask for approval from the federal government to import it.
Most teenage boys do not think that fathering a child makes them any more manly. A new University of Florida study of males aged 15 to 19 found about 60% of those asked felt that getting a woman pregnant would not enhance their manhood. 35% admitted they would feel a little more manly. Only 5% report they'd get a real ego boost from fathering a child. And the lower the teen's family income, the greater the macho connection he apparently made.
Ahead on News 12, a Westbury restaurant is offering hungry folks a jolly good time this week.
And we'll profile the stars and pictures nominated for the coveted Oscar On the Aisle.
Relive the most unforgettable moments in history. Introducing 10 Days That Shook the World.
Or have so many smaller films been honored? News 12's entertainment critic Alan Oren takes a closer look on the aisle.
The big surprises, and even some of the big favorites are small, lesser-known films and filmmakers. Start with The Crying Game, a movie with such small distribution, it's barely been shown outside the large cities. But the Academy saw enough of it for 4 major nominations: Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor, Stephen Ray, and Supporting Actor, Jay Davidson. Howard's End, a literary piece from Merchant Ivory, was awaited by fans of literature and Merchant Ivory, but hardly by the masses. Yet it picked up major nominations for Best Film, Best Director, Best Actress, Emma Thompson, and Best Supporting Actress, Vanessa Redgrave. The women especially arrived in small vehicles. Most of the Best Actress and Supporting Actress nominees were from lesser-known films, like Love Field with Michelle Pfeiffer and Indochine with Catherine Deneuve. And Indochine is just one of many non-American nominees, again making the films less familiar to us. Enchanted April enchanted us from abroad. Damage did its damage from England, where The Crying Game was also first played. That's not to say, to alter Leo DeRocher, that big guys finish last. Yes, there were a few good nominations for a few good men, and Unforgiven was unforgotten, as was Scent of a Woman. But big names like Nicholson in Hoffa and Lee directing Malcolm X lost out in this year when less meant more. Now, for those of you interested in the big and small nominees, here are the top 3 awards, beginning with Best Picture. Scent of a Woman is the favorite here, and Best Actor. Pacino and Washington are probably co-favorites, and Best Actress, where only Susan Sarandon was from a major film. I have some other ways to spend your days. That's Arts Week, my choices for the best in Long Island leisure. My top pick is international violinist Itzhak Perlman performing at the Tilla Center on Saturday. For evening entertainment, cabaret artist Julie Wilson is at CW Post Campus on Friday. A little cheaper, the boat show docks at the Nassau Coliseum. For the kids, Indian Games offers legends, stories, and games of Native Americans. And last chance to catch the Hungarian Orchestra at SUNY Stony Brook. On the Isle, I'm Alan Oren.
And next on the daytime edition, Joe will have the weekend forecast.
And the next tangle in the Hornets' nest, sports is next.
Winning 13 of their last 15 games. It was a battle of the big men last night, but early on, it's Hornets rookie Alonzo Mourning who had the upper hand. His 39 points helped Charlotte lead into the second half, but Patrick Ewing got pumped with some great dishing out by John Starks. Ewing stuffed 43 points, and Starks had a career-high 39 as the Knicks dunked the Hornets 124 to 116. In college hoops, St. John's falls back into a tie for the lead in the Big East. That's because Seton Hall hooked them last night at the Garden.
The Blues as the New Jersey Devils take hold of third place in the Patrick Division. Claude Lemieux putting the Devils over.
Around here for a little while and possibly snowy too. Joe's over at the map with details. Joe?
For the weekend, we'll keep our eyes on a storm coming in right here into California. You can see a ton of moisture. And it's going to be an interesting tomorrow, so tune back in as far as what I might come up with for a weekend forecast. But for today, nothing worse than a mix of sun and clouds, maybe a flurry or two flying by, which we've seen already, 27 to 32. Skies will become clear after some early leftover clouds tonight, 15 to 20 by morning. Mostly sunny for Friday, but on the cold side, temperatures only in the 20s to near 30. And then on the extended, we have a mention of snow all 3 days. It's hard to say, but if it comes in on Saturday, for sure it'll be snow. And then either snow or snow changing to rain later Sunday into Monday. We'll have to wait till tomorrow to get the gory details.
Awful lot of snowflakes there.
Yeah, but it's not a measure of the ambiance of the weekend. I don't know whether it'll be a lot of snow, a little bit on Saturday and snow to rain on Sunday, or we could sow nothing on Saturday and then snow a lot on Sunday.
I could have told you that, and I didn't go to meteorological school for all those years. All right, Joe.
Well,
I know it is a changeable thing. You're absolutely right. Coming up, we've got an Oregon elementary school principal who's truly stinky, but his students love him anyway.
And a bit of Britain comes to a Westbury.
Tonight at 11.